everybody. How are you? It is embroidery happy hour and stuff. Hey, Renee, Barbara, Blanca, Norma. Thanks, guys, for joining me tonight and stuff. I'm sure more people are going to drop in as time goes on. This weekend, I was working on a birthday shirt for my mom. She's going to turn 81 on October 5th. And hey, Sarah, how you doing? Happy Friday. Hey, Miss Miles, how are you? I'm so happy you got your machine back. Like I was saying, my mom's turning 81. Her birthday's on October 5th. And, you know, birthday shirts are a big thing, right, for kids. So I made one for my niece who turned 21 this year, Gabby, and it came out really good. So I said, I'm going to make one for my mom. Well, I kind of screwed up on the shirt. And while I was making the shirt, I was also filming a video to show you guys how to do the birthday shirts on the SC1900. I'm still going to post a video, even though it didn't come out good. Okay, if you guys just want to see what I did, I have to figure out how to do it correctly. So I'm going to show you guys real quick what it looks like. I did it on the 5x12 hoop and stuff. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Susan. South Carolina, got family there. I did it on the 5x12 hoop. The shirt was supposed to say, Abuela is now, and it was going to say 81. And I think the rest of it was supposed to be, and she's beautiful every day, something like that. And, you know, it was supposed to say, you know, Abuela. And, you know, I got the applique right. I was doing sparkles for the applique. All this came out gorgeous. Now, this is where the problem came in. I didn't hoop this correctly. And because I didn't hoop this correctly, I thought I could get away with rotating the design. Because when you create, you know, when you want to use the 5x12 hoop on the SC1900 and you create the file in Brilliance, what ends up happening is when you save it, it saves it into 2 files. So I thought all I had to do was rotate the files to face the other way and it should work. Well, no, it doesn't work that way because the spacing is very precise. So when I put this back on the hoop and it started to stitch the B for Abuela, the B, I don't know if you notice, the B is right here. It went on top of the A. So that was going to be the U right there. So it wasn't going to come out right. So to save thread and everything, and I already knew it was all screwed up, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to stop it here, and I'll just show you guys how it started to stitch, because, you know, the rest of it was going to come out okay. It's just that this portion right here, it wasn't going to come out good. So one mistake I made and you know what, you know, it's funny how you give advice and sometimes you don't even take the advice that you give. You know how some of you guys have reached out to me and say, you know, I want to stitch something out, right? And then I always say, hey, buy a yard of fabric and, you know, cut it in pieces and practice on your little scraps of fabric first, stitch out the design, and then you use your product and, you know, you put it in the machine and then stitch it out again, right? So I got overconfident thinking that just rotating it was going to work, and it didn't. So I wasted a shirt. So, you know, this embroidery happy hour is to talk about screw ups. So don't do what I did, okay? Do buy that piece of fabric. Just get a plain black and white fabric, cut them in little pieces. And when you're not sure how things are going to stitch out, do that, because I would have saved myself a shirt. So now I have to, you know, I still haven't figured out what I did wrong. I know that I shouldn't rotate it. What I should have did was just hooped it the right way. I hooped the shirt the opposite direction, and I should have hooped it the right way. And because I didn't hoop it the right way, that's when I try to do the shortcut of, well, let me just rotate the file and turn it upside down, and it'll stitch out perfectly. It doesn't work when you have you know, the two files, that work together. It works great if it was all one file, you could rotate it, not a problem. But when you're trying to use the 5x7, the 5x12 hoop, which is the big one on the SC 1900, for some reason the spacing is very precise, so it's not going to work. So, I will have to, what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to buy a piece of fabric, which I have fabric over there, but I'm going to use a plain piece of fabric. I'm going to practice stitch it, and then I will pull another shirt out, and then I'll do it again. But I was hoping to get this done this weekend so I could put it in the mail. I'll definitely have it for my mom for her birthday. Her birthday is October 5th. We're on the 18th now or something like that. So I have time to mail it to her. So I'll definitely do it. I used cutaway stabilizer, and what I did was I sprayed it with temporary adhesive because I didn't want to use the sticky stabilizer, because remember what I said was when you have something that you're going to wear, okay, you don't want to use tearaway or cutaway stabilizer, because think about it. You're going to take that shirt, you're going to wash it several times in the washing machine. And when you wash it several times, that stuff eventually dissolves. And then what happens is then the stitches can kind of crumble up and all that kind of stuff. So, you don't want that, especially if you're selling items. If it's yours, sometimes you really don't care because you can always make yourself another one, But if you have somebody that bought a shirt from you, you do kind of want to care, because after the second or third wash, if the shirt starts to crumble up before you know it, they're going to be like, yeah, it was a cute shirt, but it's only good for 1 or 2 washes, and then people are going to think twice about buying another shirt from you or even recommending you to buy a shirt from. So I wanted to share this with you. Okay. This is a mistake, a big mistake that I made. So, which I kind of could kick myself, because I was like, this is the only black shirt I have left. So now, I needed to make another order of shirts anyway, but I was hoping this one would be for my mom. So, oh well, didn't work out that way. Okay. So that's one mistake. Okay. So I'm going to move on along because I got several that I learned the hard way. And I'm hoping that while I tell you guys stuff that I've done, that you guys can avoid making these mistakes. Okay. Even though sometimes, you have your own experiences and everything. And sometimes, I don't know how some people are, but sometimes, unfortunately, I kind of learn the hard way, But when I do learn the hard way, I learned for life, so I'm kind of like, okay, so I will tell you this, I won't be doing that again. Okay. That's for sure. All right. Another common mistake that people have done, I've done it plenty of times. Okay. Is, you take a towel or you take something, you hoop it. And after you've done the whole design, you find out that you forgot to put the stabilizer on the bottom. It's funny because sometimes a lot of people would think, oh, you wouldn't forget to do that because, but you do. You actually do, because sometimes what happens, you get distracted and all that kind of stuff. And then next thing you know, you forgot it, And talk about stabilizer. If you forget to do the stabilizer, another thing people do, and I do this often sometimes, and I kind of kick myself. I did this in this. I had a customer. He likes customized towels, right? So he's bought several from me, and I'm like, okay. So two things that happened with this. Okay, I started to stitch, and I have the stabilizer in the back, but you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put my topping. And the topping is really, really important when you're doing towels, because of the fiber. And the thicker the towel, the more important that that topping is, because that's what the topping does, is it kind of adds that extra layer between the actual towel and the stitches that you're applying. So it gives it that lift. And if you don't put the topping on there, what can happen is that then your stitches are going to sink in. Okay. So I was kind of like, oh, that sucks. And another thing that I did not test the tension on my machine. So if you look real closely on this, if you look at the S, you're going to see white. See right there? Right there, right here. See, look at the S. See the white? And, you know, and you can see, look at the edges. You'll notice that you see some of the bobbin thread. Okay? And that happened because I did not test the tension on my machine. So ever so often, you know, you should do that. And usually what you should do, and this is something that I do, is I just take tearaway stabilizer, I hoop it, and then I just do the letter I. And I have a whole video on tension, okay? Now, let me tell you, tension can be a pain in the ass. It really can. Because the thing is, you want to make sure that when you're stitching designs, that none of the bobbin thread, okay, which the bobbin thread is usually white thread. Sometimes people use black. And then sometimes another thing where in this case you wouldn't care about the tension is if you have the bobbin thread the same color as the top thread. If that's the case, then it's the same color, right? But if you have the bobbin thread that's a different color from the top thread, the last thing you want is for the bobbin to show up on the top, which it kind of it really does mess it up. So with that being said, this towel was no good because I didn't test the tension before I did that, and I didn't put the topping on. Okay, now this towel is not lost though, because one of the things that I plan on doing is I'm going to use this to fix it, hopefully. And I've mentioned this before. It's the Peggy Stitch Eraser. And what it is it's a, it looks like a shaver, actually. Like I could turn it on and shave my head, you know, to like a Britney Spears or something, you know. So anyway, bad joke, I know. Anyway, but it is, it's, you know, I turn it on, see, like that. And then just so you know, if you do get this, this is one thing that I am going to let you know. This cuts, okay? So the way to use this, the best way that I find to use this is to turn it on. And you see how I still have my my tearaway on it? This is where you would then go and start cutting the stitches from back here, okay? But be very careful because it can cut your fabric, okay? So I cut a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see, but it turns it into like a little fuzz. Do you see that? It turns it into like a little fuzz, but it makes it a little easier for you to see it already coming out, kind of, you know, for you to remove the stitches, okay? Do not, and I'm telling you out of experience, okay? You don't use this on here, okay? You use it on the back where you have your stabilizer, okay? This cuts, and what's going to happen is you're going to cut a hole in your fabric, and then you're just going to have to throw it out. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way you can save it. So this is what I'll be doing tonight, is to try to save this towel, is I'm going to be, you know, shaving the back of this design and see if I can pull out all the stitches one by one. This does take time to do too. This is something that you really have to take your time, because that's another important mistake. Rushing, okay? When you're rushing, you just make errors. So it's when it comes to embroidery, that is one thing that I did learn and I'm, I was born and raised in New York City, so it's like everything in New York's a rush. Okay. When I moved from New York to Virginia, I thought people here were slow. I was just like, what the hell? Let's go. But, and it's funny because I've lived here for a very long time. I've been living in Virginia now for 20 years, and I still have that fast pace thing in me. So I guess it's like once a New Yorker, I guess always a New Yorker. I don't know. So, but oh, look, I just went like this, and then I just want to show you guys. Look at how, you see? Look how it came out. See? Look how easy. So this is really a great thing. Look at that. See? That's pretty neat. And all I did, because you guys saw, all I did was I just took the shaver and I put it in the back, right? And I just went, you saw that little bit, and then look how much that little bit got. And then all I did was went like this, I just scraped it with my finger, and it started to come out. And as you can see, it's like falling out. So this is really, really great. I got mine off on Amazon, and I think, I've mentioned this before. I believe allstitch.com has it. They also sell a wireless version. I just like the cord because I have the plug right next to me, so it's not a problem. The cords are pretty long too. It's not a big deal. So, and what I like about cords is you're not replacing batteries, and the last thing you want to do is to have it on, and then all of a sudden you're trying to, use it, and then the battery runs out or something. I'm sure maybe the cordless maybe are rechargeable. I'm not sure. I didn't look into it, but I saw the cord, so I was just like, it works. It works for me. I mean, I'm good with the cord, so but so that's another thing that I wanted to mention to you guys. Okay. Don't rush when you do embroidery. Take your time, enjoy it. It's a craft. It's what you love doing. Have fun with it. Slow down. Hard for me to do, but I am going to be honest. When I do slow down and I start to enjoy it and watch that needle just go up and down and create the item, I like it. I really do, so just enjoy it, because that is the thing too. A lot of the mistakes happen when you're rushing, because that's when you forget the stabilizer at the bottom. That's when you forget the topping, the stabilizer, the topping to put on the top. So, that's where all the mistakes happen and stuff. So just so that, some of the stuff that I've done. Okay. Also, let me tell you also about, this is one mistake that will piss off everybody. I mean, like royally. This is like something that you do that after you have it, you need to go get a drink. Okay. And talk about drink. What am I having today? Water. Because I went to Firebirds and I already had 2 martinis. So I like their double black diamond. It's good, their martini and stuff. So I had 2, So anyway, so enough for tonight. Okay, so let me tell you what would really piss you off. That's when the Bacardi comes out and you need your Coke and rum and all that kind of stuff. This is what happened to me when I made, I don't know if you guys saw the video about my 36 shirts. I had this big order of the 36 shirts, right? Well, I went and this was a shirt that I made, right? And I finished the whole thing, okay? Finished the front. Look at the logo, looks nice. The back came out perfect and everything, right? So what ends up happening is you then have to cut your cutaway, right? Okay, so, well, let me tell you, this is something else. Rushing again, okay? Me rushing, wanting to get all these 36 shirts finished, okay? Because I was like, I need to get it to the customer and everything like that, right? So I took the, I got my big stabilizer, the stabilizer, the cutaway. So I'm over here taking scissors and I'm holding it from one side and I just went, shoop, and I just slicing it, okay? And I was slicing it really close to the stitches. So guess what happened when I was slicing it here? Well, I didn't mess up any of the stitches, but I cut my shirt. Okay? So look at the hole right there. See? Hello. So after I spent all this time embroidering the back of the shirt, hooping it again, embroidering the front of the shirt, cutting the back, and then I go to cut the front. And then because I was in a rush and I wasn't being careful with the scissors, okay, making sure that I was not, and you could see I was on a roll. I was on a roll. Look, I started cutting this stabilizer real close to that because I'm over here thinking, oh, that way there's not that much stabilizer on the shirt, right? But what happened was I wasn't paying attention to what the scissors were hitting. So yeah, what ended up happening was I cut the shirt. So all that work for a shirt with a hole in it. So y'all know I got the puppy, right? So I'm using these shirts to entertain him because I don't have a, what can I do with this shirt? It's a shirt with a hole in it. It's not like I can't sell this to the customer, right? I can't give this to him because he'd be like, God damn, she made all these shirts with holes in them, So what did I could cut the bottom, maybe use the bottom fabric or something to do something. I don't know, but I've been using them with the puppy to play tug of war. Get some use out of it. So, but that was, that's a mistake. That's a mistake I want to share with you guys. So you really have to take your time when it comes to this craft. You really do. Because when you're rushing, that's when I notice I make all my mistakes because I'm in a rush. And you know what's funny too? If you would ask me, Jeanette, where you going? Nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not running anywhere. I don't why. I don't know. So I know I have to stop it, so. But that's another thing. So another thing that I wrote in there to talk to you guys about. It's just like, bleh. So let me see. I forget the stabilizer, cut my shirt, using the wrong stabilizer. Okay. Remember my rule of thumb is if you wear it, you use cutaway because you wash it all the time. It's going to dissolve. I said that already. Okay. But there have been times when I'm at the machine and I don't know why I just picked the wrong stabilizer. And then I put it. And then when I'm done embroidering and I take it out, okay, of the machine, then I'm like, I used cutaway when I should have used tearaway, or I used tearaway and vice versa. So I'm just like so to be honest, it's like before you start to embroider, you have to plan. You have to plan. Know what the project is, know your design, know your colors, know what stabilizer, everything. Just take your time and really focus, because if not, you're gonna miss something and you're gonna mess it up and stuff. The other thing that I've done is not watching my stitch count, okay, and not even watching the machine. There have been times when the machine's going and I'm thinking everything is fine, so I'll just go downstairs. I'll let the machine run and I'll go downstairs and I'll eat or do whatever. Then when I come upstairs, I have a mess. And then what hands up is like, okay, either it bunched up or I ended up with a bird's nest, the needle stopped, the needle snapped or the thread snapped. And then it's like, okay, I wasted a whole bunch of time. When if I was sitting there, sometimes I don't come back to the machine for an hour, and then God only knows how long the machine was there sitting idle, with the era. So watch your machines unless you know for sure that it's going to stitch out well. Every time you're trying a new design, you should always be there and you should always just sit there. Oh, Leslie, you got the PR670. I love that machine. You're going to like it. That's mine. Congratulations. I just saw it. I just saw your thing. And so watch your machine, guys. Do watch it. Watch your stitch count. Okay. When your machine stops, take a note of what stitch number is stopped at. And I'm going to tell you why. Because sometimes you're going to need to go back. And if you go back, like once my machine stopped, and then I don't know why, I just moved it. But when I moved it, I unplugged it. And when I unplugged it, of course, the power went off on the machine and everything like that. And I was like, that's really great. And I was in the middle of a design, right? I did not take note of what was the last stitch that is stitched. So what did I do? Well, at that time, what I did was I took it out and then put a brand new piece of fabric and then restitched it. However, now I have enough experience where I know how to back stitch and I know how to forward stitch. So if that was to happen again and I didn't know the stitch count, I would play with it and I would be able to look in the LCD and see where that plus sign is, where it tells you that the needle is going to be stitching. And I would just forward it until the spot that I know I need to continue stitching. So, always watch your stitch count. Okay, and write it down. Always have like a little notebook or a little piece of paper by, so that when it stops, you can take a note and write that number down. That way, if God forbid something happens and you need to actually go back to that particular place, you can't, because you wrote the number and stuff. The stitch count, very, very important. I learned that the hard way too. I wasted a lot of stuff. Using the wrong bobbin. And what I mean is the wrong bobbin color, or even putting it in wrong. Sometimes you're in a rush and you don't even put it in the right way. Sometimes you got to pay attention to your machine. Clean your machine. Try to get into the habit of cleaning your machine at very least once a month. When you are sewing and you're embroidering, there is a lot of lint that is going to build in that machine. So take the time to take that little brush that came with your machine, go around the bobbin case and all that kind of stuff, because that will really, really make a difference and stuff. It's like the last thing you want. I've seen pictures where people have not cleaned their machine. Then all of a sudden the machine's not working. And then when they open it, they see like clunks of lint. Don't let your machine get like that, because then you're going to have problems, and it's really going to affect the way the machine stitches and stuff. So always, at least once a month, put it on your calendar, the first of the month and stuff. You go in and you clean it and stuff. I usually do it after I change my bobbin case, like 3 or 4 times, and it's it doesn't take a lot of time. When you're just going in there and you're just cleaning out the bottom, Oh, and there was another one. Someone had posted something on our Facebook page, okay? And they put a video about flossing your machine. That's very good too. Get some dental floss, not the ones with the wax. Get the unwaxed. Tie 3 knots on the dental floss. And I think I have a dental floss here. This is something that person mentioned to me. They mentioned it on the Facebook page, and very good idea. I found this old. It's actually really old. It's a trial side dental floss. This is unwaxed, right? Take it, cut it. I saw a video on it. Real cool. If I can cut it. Oh my God. You can't cut it? It's not cutting. Oh. There you go. Okay. Then what you do is tie 3 knots. Okay. So you're going to do 1 knot here. Okay. And then a little space. Do another knot. Okay, so now you have 1, 2 knots, do another knot. I think Barbara mentioned this. I think it was Barbara that put that on our Facebook page, right? And then you have like the three knots on your floss, right? Take it, and then on your machine, act like you're gonna thread it. Just go through the machine, thread it, and then what you do is just pull it out. And when you pull it out, it helps to clean some of the tension discs that are inside the machine with all the lint and stuff like that. Very, very neat idea. So I'm gonna save this little piece, okay? So that way I can clean it later. But this was a very, very good idea. So if you have dental floss, usually when you go to the dentist, they always give you like a free pack and stuff like that. Ask them if they have unwaxed dental floss, and then take a pack and then put it in your sewing kit. And every once in a while, when you're cleaning out the lint, just take out your dental, do a little piece, do your little 3 knots, and just pass it through. Just pass it to like 2 or 3 times just to make sure and stuff. You don't have to do it often, but it's just little maintenance don't help, and stuff. So, just to keep your machine going nice and clean. So just a little tip thing. This was a quick little thing that I think it was Barbara that put it out there and stuff like that. So, but it's just something neat, and I didn't even know about it. So I was like, oh, another way to clean your machine and stuff. So yeah, watch the stitch count very carefully and stuff. Okay, forgetting the topping, I said that. Check your embroidery space. Now, this is what I mean by embroidery space. Okay, I'm gonna say, okay, let's make believe this is your hoop, okay? And you stick it in the machine. All right. Now you're going to embroider your design. There is a function on your SC 1900 that before you embroider, you can ask the machine to show you where it's it goes, like the needle goes dun, 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 and it shows you where it's going to actually embroider, right? The spacing. Okay, do that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you want to know where the design is going to actually go. Once you have it hooped and you have it in your machine, you want to know where that design is going to be laid, okay, on the actual fabric, okay? I know I have to do a video on, I was trying to do the video for the birthday shirt for my mom. And I'm still going to post it out there. I mean, it's just I'll just probably title it as, project, a failed project. So if you guys are interested, you can see what I tried to do, and, but don't follow that because it didn't work. Okay. But I will do one on the LCD, okay, so that you can learn the functions. But there is a function in there, and it's the one with it's a little square with the arrow. It's an arrow, and it's I'm gonna show you. It's a square like this, and then it has a little arrow. Okay, and when you click on that, that's when the needle is going to show you where the design is going to go. You really want to do that, because what ends up happening is sometimes you think the design is going to go in one spot, and it's not. And then what's going to happen is, if you do it that way, if you try to see where is it going to actually stitch, then before you even start embroidering, you can tell the machine to lower it or make it higher or put it more to the left or to the right. So that way you could have the design actually stitch out where exactly you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? So there was a couple of times when I needed a particular design to really be embroidered in a particular place on my hoop. And I just hit embroidery, walked away, came back, and it was in the middle when I needed it to be closer to the bottom. And I was kind of like, that's great, So of course, I had to redo the whole thing and stuff. Okay. So always check your embroidery space to make sure that before you start embroidering, the item that you want embroidered actually lays where you want it to be and stuff. So that's, and it's really funny because as I'm telling you about all these mistakes and stuff, what is going through my mind right now is the amount of detail that goes into embroidery. I mean, the preparation alone, where you have to think about your color threads. You have to think about your stabilizer. You have to think about how you're hooping the item. You have to think about where it's going to lay, how it's going to lay. All the time you have to spend watching the needle go up and down and actually, create the item, I mean, it's a lot. It really is a lot. A lot of people that aren't familiar with embroidery, a lot of times they think, oh, you just press a button and walk away. That's not true. It's like so not true. So, it's like, ugh. Other thing that I messed up on, checking my tension. Okay. Every once in a while, you should check the tension on the machine to make sure that it is embroidering correctly. And that's what ended up happening with this towel. I did not check my tension. And if I would have checked my tension, I would have noticed that my tension was off, and I started to have the little bobbin thread showing up on the edges. So that was something that I learned the hard way that I had to do. So it's like you don't have to really check it all the time, but you need to check it once in a while. And unfortunately, it was a while before that I had not checked the tension to make sure that it was stitching correctly. So I just actually like put it in the machine. And the next thing you know, I saw my tension was off and I had to make some adjustments. So that was kind of like a big, like, Jeanette, you know better moment. Okay. And the other thing that I have about the big boo-boos that I made was what I actually shared with you guys before with my mom's shirt is I didn't practice the design on a piece of fabric before actually trying to put it on the actual product. Okay. Shirts cost money, bags cost money, a lot of things cost money. It is, I know that sometimes people come out and say, well, Jeanette, you're wasting a lot of thread. You know what? The price of the thread is really a lot cheaper than if I had to go out and buy another shirt, or I had to go out and buy another bag or something like that. Practice your design. I didn't do that. And now the shirt that I had, and which was the last black shirt that I had to, I can't use. So I'm kind of like, half of me is like, oh, Jesus, is there a way I can save this? But honestly, I don't think so. I am going to try with my little Peggy eraser, which is why I didn't take it out of the hoop yet, because I figured I'll take the little Peggy eraser thing and see how much I can get off without breaking the shirt. My only concern with using the Peggy eraser with this is that because of the fineness, the font is kind of very thin. So, but I'll see. I'll see what happens. I mean, the shirt's already ruined, right? So one or two things can happen. One thing is that I get it all out and then I could use it for something else. I could use this to embroider a shirt for myself or something. I'm not going to use this for her. Or I make a hole in the shirt and it just didn't work. I mean, for a shirt that I really couldn't use anyway. So I didn't really lose anything. So, but I'm going to try it and I'm going to see what happens, and stuff. So, the list of, oh, I forgot one of them, color thread. Okay. When you have your design on your machine, okay, make sure that you are sure about the colors that you want to use and how they're going to blend. Okay. There have been times when I've selected a certain color, and what ended up happening was I had white thread on top of white thread. So of course, if you have white on white or the same color green on green or whatever it is on the same color on top of each other, what ends up happening is they blend. And when they blend, you really don't see your design. So I kind of made that mistake a couple of times, not paying attention to the colors that I was picking for what particular area of the design. So now I kind of know better. I did that with a baseball hat where I did like an eagle, and I don't know where that hat is, but what happened was the eagle, the baseball hat was, and that's the other thing too. The baseball hat, it wasn't just the thread. Well, it was the thread, but the baseball hat was black, right? So what I did was I did the eagle in black. So if you have a black eagle on a black hat, you barely see the eagle. So I mean, you could kind of tell there's an eagle on there because some of the other parts of the design were kind of like a little bit of gray and all that kind of stuff. But if I had that black eagle on a white hat, it would have popped out, or a red hat or another color hat. So I just, if you have the same color on top of the other color, it's gonna kind of like disappear in itself. It's not gonna pop out. So that's a mistake that I learned. Pay attention to the color of the items that you're embroidering, and pay attention to the type of colors of threads that you select, because you don't want anything to, like, I think the word I meant to say was bleed in or something. I don't know, but you just don't want it to blend so much that before you know it, you can't really figure out what it is that it is. So it's really kind of short, the stuff that I have. Oh, it's 8:41. Okay, let me look through the comments and stuff. Let me see. Renee, Barbara, Blanca, Norma, Sarah, Miss Miles. I'm so happy you got your machine back, Miss Miles. Miss Miles is having a hard time with her machine, but she's back in business and stuff. Hey, Susan, Deborah, Robin, Kaima, Lesla, is it Leza, Miss Reed. And Miss Reed got her PE 670E. You go, girl. And so that's the 6-needle machine for the brothers. It's the one that I have and stuff. And I know she's gonna have a really, really good time. And if you need help with your machine, let me know and stuff. I can help you with that machine. I've had mine now for, I think, 4 months, something like that. And I actually like it. I really do like it and stuff. Hey, Ron and Shirley, Sarah, NC, Tracy. And so, let me see. I'm over here saying hi to people. I didn't even see if anyone has any questions. I messed up a t-shirt. Now I use the shirt for testing. Yep, that's a good, yep. You know what? Susan's got a good idea. Because how I say use scraps for testing and stuff. You can use it, don't throw out, your shirts when you mess up. That's why, like, I still have it. Like this, I'll use it for the puppy, tug of war, whatever. But I do have scraps that I can use to test my tension or test out designs and stuff like that. So, don't throw them out, because then what ends up happening is you use your good fabric to test out stuff. So, don't throw them out. I totally agree with Susan and stuff. You should always do that. I forget the topping all the time. Yep, Sarah, that's what I do and stuff. Let me see. Love your videos. Thank you. I will keep making them and stuff, because I know a lot of people now are getting the SC 1900s, and and congratulations also to all the folks out there that had just bought their machines. I saw somebody posted a box that came to their house and stuff, and they were like really like super excited. They posted it on our Facebook group and stuff. I think that's like so awesome. I know they're gonna have so much fun with it and stuff. So you see, writing down the stitch count. Yep. Yeah, I learned that the hard way, to write down the stitch count, Sarah. I mean, it's like it's the dotted square on the screen. Yes. The function to find out where your embroidery piece is going to embroider, it's the dotted square It's like, little dot squares, and it's like going this way. Well, for me, it's going this way. For you, it would go that way. Well, you guys know what I mean, okay? I hope so. If not, let me know. you know. And so, hey Grace, how are you? I'm so tired of people telling you not to touch the tension. Miss Miles, yeah. I got okay. That's the thing with the tension. I got that too. Even with my 6 needle machine, when I went and I bought the machine, right? People always say don't touch the tension, don't touch the tension. But the thing is, when you run the test and you see that the tension's not working, that the tension is off, you gotta touch the tension. I mean, and this is the only thing that I really find kind of like good, about the servicing with this is the one thing that really I don't care for of having the big machines, okay? Whenever you have a problem or you have to get the machine serviced, this machine is heavy, okay? It is nothing light, okay? I mean, it took me and my husband to carry this machine upstairs, the 6 needle. And the last thing you want to do is drop it. Okay. So, when they say, oh, just bring it in for service, to me, what goes through my mind is, do you know the hassle you have to go through to get that machine to your shop? I mean, because my sewing room is on the second floor of my house. So that means that I have to unscrew it from the stand. Okay. Then I have to carry it downstairs, get it in my truck, go to the store, carry it from from my car, the truck to the shop. I mean, it's a pain in the ass. Like with the SC 1900, it's nothing because it has a little handle, and yeah, it's a little heavy, but it's to me it's a little more simpler to take it to the shop. But when you have to take this thing to the shop, I dread it. I have not had to take it to the shop yet. I have called them up and I told them, hey, the tension's off. So the technician has called me, and through texting each other, he was able to help me to get the tension right on the machine. And then that's when I started learning about there's not just tension on the top, there's tension in the bobbin. And when he showed me how to change, fix the tension on the bobbin, that's when I was like, oh, wait a minute. Because I know my tension was off on this, because sometimes when I was sewing, I would see the bobbin thread and then I would have the tension all the way down to 1. And I know that 4 is supposed to be the place where it's supposed to be, right? Because they don't want you to touch it. But how could you not touch it and then you see that the bobbin thread's all the way on the top? So, I kind of hate that too when they tell you don't mess with the tension. And I wouldn't mess with the tension if the tension was always right. But when it's not right, then what do? You have to do something, because then you can't just have it like that. So I don't know. Well, but it's, the way I look at it is, it's you learn the machine, and stuff. So, um, I will be reaching out to you. Yes, Miss Reed. Yes, reach out to me because I can help you with the 6 needle and stuff. You're gonna really like it. It's fun, and it's a really good machine. It's very solid. I'm gonna be honest. If I would have known about the scanning capability in the 10 needle, I would have went with the 10 needle. But the thing is, when I went to buy it, the lady didn't know how to explain it to right. So she just said, well, there's just an extra 4 needles. She didn't tell me there was all these extra capabilities with the 10 needle, so that's why I went with the 6 needle. But if I would have knew that, because there was like a $5,000 difference. I mean, these machines are not cheap. That is for sure. They are not cheap. So I don't know. So it's like, but I think for now, I'm just gonna stick with my 6 needle and my SC 1900, and then my plan is that if everything goes well with my embroidery shop and everything, then what I will do is I will get a Velcro uh, embroidering machine. The Velcro is a 15 needle embroidery machine, so I have been eyeing that. And I know there's other 15 needle embroidery machines, so I'm kind of like looking at all of them right now. But I figure for right now, I'm going to stick with these two until I make sure I get my money's worth, especially for this baby, because this one cost me a lot. So until I don't have this, the money returned from this, I'm not going to get anything else. I'm going to stick with these two. Okay, so I'm like, we'll see what happens, and stuff. So okay, don't forget. Oh, thank you, Blanca. Well, anyway, listen. If you guys like this video and if you guys like my channel and stuff, please subscribe. I am getting so close to the 1,000 subscribers, and please share my channel with anyone that you know that wants to learn about embroidery or anything. Please share this channel with them. Tell them to please subscribe. And like like the videos. I will be putting all my information on the comments so that you guys can reach me if you have questions or need help. I know that some of you have reached out to me, and I enjoy it. I enjoy doing this because I like doing this, and at the same time, I learn from you guys also, just like you guys are learning from me. Like I have gotten some really great tips. I have also a Facebook group out there, and Blanca, thanks once again for reminding me to tell people about the thumbs up and the subscriptions and everything. I have a Facebook group out there. It's called Embroidery Happy Hour Adventures. We have about, like, I believe 66 members on the group. Please join. I really want us all to share our ideas, to share, our projects that we're working on. There's one gentleman from Puerto Rico that's part of our group that reached out to me, Felix. He had shared with me this video of some of the things that he has done. And, he kind of said, I didn't want to put it on your group because of the rules. Well, I just want you guys to know, I don't do the rule thing. I know other groups do. I kind of really don't. I just, my whole thing is, if you guys have something that you're making and, you're trying to sell it and stuff like that, post it. Because I don't make everything. We all don't make everything, right? So, like, let's say you're doing socks and you put people's initials on it and stuff, and you want to try to sell them and stuff like that. If you started an Etsy shop and you want to put your link of your product out there, put it on the group. Because if somebody talks to me and says, yeah, I want to buy socks with initials, and I see your link on the group, I'm going to be like, hey, reach out to this person. You can buy it from them. So, Felix has, he does some face mask with the Puerto Rican flag on it, which was really, really cute. And I was telling him, I said, you should really consider selling that because, people are wearing the masks and, people like that kind of stuff. So, and, my whole thing is to help people. That's really what it is. I like sharing what I do because I love this. I love doing embroidery. I love doing creative stuff. I like giving them out as gifts and stuff. And if I can, share all of this to help somebody else out, I'm all for it. I was having dinner with a girlfriend of mine, and we were just talking about how sometimes in this world, a lot of people are pretty, selfish in a way. They don't want to share information. They don't want to help other people out and stuff like that. And, it's kind of sad, and I just don't want to be that way. It's just me. It's just who I am. So to me, it's like, if you, if you have something that you want to share in the Facebook group, do it. I'm okay with it, and stuff, so just so you guys know, okay, and stuff. And if you guys see that there's, I know there's some people out there too that are looking to buy the SC1900. And if you see there's a site out there that is selling it maybe at a cheaper price or something like that, post it out there too. So that way, people can know, because remember at one time these machines were like, I paid 1,000 and they were going for like $1,600. And I know some folks got lucky, they only paid 800 for it. And I was like, damn, I wish I paid that. But which I didn't. But but the thing is, help each other out and stuff. So, you know, sometimes let's see. You've been very helpful. Could explain your videos. Sometimes I don't want to ask people. Miss Smiles, ask. Please ask. I mean, that's one thing for sure. And I know how you feel, Miss Smiles, about not wanting to ask people, because sometimes you don't want to, like, you feel like you bother people. But you know what? If you don't ask, you don't know. You're never gonna find out. So, and I'm telling you guys to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. And stuff. I want this to be a very safe place for everybody. I want everyone to be comfortable to teach each other and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of things that I still learning too. Okay, so don't worry and stuff. Oh, and then I wanted to share with you guys too. Look, I finished my shirt. I'm wearing my shirt. I posted it on the site and stuff. Embroidery happy hour. So I'm gonna make another shirt too for my mom. For her birthday. She likes to do crochet. So I found this really cute design with like the knitting stuff. So I'm going to do a little knitting thing, and I'll probably put abuela. And for those of you that don't know, abuela means grandma in Spanish. So, I'm going to do something like that for her and everything. Thanks, Blanca. I like my shirt too. This is really my favorite one. I actually like this one better than the white one that I made, actually, and stuff. I would like to purchase. I will. Well, yes, I will. I know some of you guys also said that you guys wanted to purchase like an embroidery happy hour shirt. I will put. I am going to put this on my shop. I will and stuff. I just want to make sure that I can get more shirts and stuff like that, and then have them so that way, if you guys want one, you guys can order it and stuff. No problem and stuff. All right. Well, I think it is 9. Oh, yeah, almost 9. Okay, because sometimes I usually go over and stuff. But anyway, I'm really glad that I was able to share these mistakes with you guys and stuff. Like I said, I am going to post a video of me messing up, just so you guys can see what I did and stuff if you're interested and everything. But I am going to try to figure this out. I really do want to figure this out because, that way I can show you guys how I did it. And then you guys can, do it for yourself if you want to. Because it was Miss Smiles that she ventured off to get the 5x12. And she's the one that got me into this. And then I was kind of like, oh, and then I did a towel. I did a video of a towel of using this. And it came out really, really nice. But I did not modify the file when I saved it. I didn't do the 90 degree rotate. And I think that's what kind of screwed it up. So, can't do that, I guess. I learned the hard way on that and stuff. I want to make some patches for my grandbaby's jeans, book bag, and jacket. Yes, and I can do that. I can do a video on that. Patches. Because another thing, you talk about Miss Miles doing a patch on baby jeans and a book bag. Another idea, and I did that on the video, the last happy hour that we had last week where we talked about gifts. Some people, what they do is they make like a patch with their child's name on it, and then they sew it on a hat, on a little knit hat and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Maybe I should do a video of how to do the hat with a patch and stuff. That way you guys can see how that's done and everything. I really got to find time to make all these videos, guys. My goal was to try to get one instructional video per week. But like I said, getting the dog, and it's not, I don't want to blame Mello. I love Mello, okay? But he is in that puppy stage, and he really does occupy so much of my time. And I am still working full time too. So it's hard sometimes to find the time and kind of quit on me with the video camera and stuff, which is it's cool. I mean, he's 20 years old, so you know how kids are. They want to hang out and they want to have fun. They want to do their thing. So I can't force my stuff on him and stuff. So I mean, he'll hold it once in a while, but that's so, but I am going to get better. I'm going to keep at this. I'm not going to quit. That's why I kind of like when Cardio gave me this idea of embroidery happy hour every Friday, because that kind of forces me to put this information out there. But I want to do more instructional video. Like I really do want to do one on the LCDs on the machine, because there's a lot of functions like teaching you how to go back and forth and all that kind of stuff. That is something that you really the more you learn about the machine and how it works and all that kind of stuff, the better your embroidery projects are going to be and stuff. So it is 9 o'clock, guys. So I am going to say good night to all you guys. And as always, thank you so, so much for tuning in and stuff. I really appreciate all of the awesome support and all of the great, feedback that I get from you guys. As always, please join the Facebook group. If you need help with anything, please let me know. Miss Reed, I'm serious. Congratulations on your PR 670E. If you need help, do reach out. I have no problems helping you out. You're going to really enjoy that machine. But don't forget about your SE 1900. Okay, you're gonna love them both. So, guys, have a great night. Please be safe. Enjoy your machines, and when you create stuff, please put it on the Facebook page so you can share it with everybody and stuff. Love you all, and have a good one. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys next week, and hopefully I will be able to put more videos out there for us. Okay, so you guys have a good night. Love you guys. Bye.